This build might make a lot of people mad, but full lifesteal builds are just so much fun. Let's dive in. Void Blade got massively buffed in Neural Eternum. The hitbox and tracking were fixed, and now the auto attacks actually land. Over the last few years, Void Blade has seen numerous changes to its damage to try to bring it on par with other weapons, but the only thing holding it back was the lack of tracking. Now that it's fixed, it's a pretty insane ability to take. So these core abilities here allow us to disease targets, that would be Petrifying Scream. You can also slow targets, and that is going to be Baleful Tether. And of course, with the Void Blade, we apply that 30% armor reduction to the target. We also have Fortify. And of course, the big thing is that we heal massively every time we crit. Passives like Refreshing Precision and Refreshing Frailty also allow us to permanently cast abilities to lock the targets in place. And of course, this has synergy with the new artifact that you can farm this week. Great Axe is a solid option to run with this setup. It allows us to catch up to targets with Bloodlust. We can slow and stagger enemies with Reap. And of course, we have the charge to gap close. We won't use this weapon for much outside of that. Maelstrom is also a good source of burst and stopping enemy projectiles, but the majority of our time will be spent using the Void Blade. This week of mutations is really what allows this build to shine, because we can finally farm the magnetic gauntlets, and these bad boys increase our critical strike chance by 50%. If you recall from the Void Blade tree, we heal every time we critical strike, so there's more synergy with that as well. Last week, we were able to farm the Blood Drinker, which is really what makes this build possible. You can make this build work without it, but you'd have to be playing a more damage-focused build. This build here is focused purely on leeching and surviving and 1v1ing anything. And of course, the Abyss is a Great Axe that scales off intelligence. It is the only Great Axe in the game that can do this, and running another Great Axe is pretty troll, so do not do that. These are the best attributes you could possibly run. We have 350 intelligence, of course, for our Void Gauntlet and Abyss damage. However, the huge thing that makes this build even better is 50 focus, which increases our incoming healing by 10%. This works with stuff like Blood Drinker and all of the other lifesteal perks we have, including some of the weapon perks and armor pieces that we'll talk about now. I've covered the important parts that are required for this build, but here is the pre-bis I am aiming for. Most of the gear we can either craft or farm from the Glacial Tarn dungeon this week, so get on that, by the way. These Frigid Dawn pieces also have an illegal perk combination, Enchanted Ward and Elemental Aversion. You cannot get these perks anywhere else on any other armor piece in the game. These pieces are heavy, so you can also run this in a lot of builds outside of this one as well. Grave Robber Hat is my favorite all-time piece to pick up. Enchanted Ward, Slash Conditioning, and you can craft this at the kiln if you hit the Season Pass level 59. This would have given you enough materia to go to the kiln and craft it yourself. It doesn't matter what third perk rolls in it, as you can put on a third perk of your choosing, and I have decided to run Slowing Tether. Medium builds lack a lot of chase compared to light builds, and slowing the target is always beneficial for catching up. So here is the Frigid Dawn piece I was talking about. Because mag gloves are heavy, we can only wear one of these Frigid Dawn pieces, unfortunately. It's a good idea to put a weapon perk on these pieces until you're able to get your best in slot, as weapon perks are hard to find in other pieces of gear with good stats. Voracious Blade really makes this build thrive. Below half HP, we heal for 34% of the damage dealt by Void Blade. If you think our healing is insane above 50% health, wait until you drop below 50% health. If you don't have a source of plague on you, or you don't get bursted fast enough, you essentially cannot die. You heal for like 2 to 3k per auto attack. I put Putrefying Scream on my mag gloves because you can use this piece in other Vici builds. For the light legs here and the medium feet wear, we can just use the doubloon gear. We don't really need a lot of pieces outside of the core fundamentals that we talked about to make this build work. Tanglevine Amulet, I talk about how strong this is in all of my build guides. We have to put Divine on here, unfortunately. I know in my other guides we run unimpeded, but Divine really makes this build super strong, so if you want to main this build, I would highly recommend it. We really need a Blood Drinker in our build, and if you missed out on it last week, you are going to have to wait until the Starstone mutation comes around again. I have the Wood Grain Earring selected here as well, but you can use a doubloon piece or something cheap off the trading post. For the Void Gauntlet, the same thing as well, doubloon piece or something cheap. Don't forget the Abyss. But the big last thing here is the brutal Heart Rune of Dark Ascent. This is one of the most insane heart runes in the game. As you see here, we can heal for 100% of the damage dealt by Dark Ascent. And as you can guess, if we scroll up to Blood Drinker here, all healing from lifesteal is increased by 5%. So we cast this, it is going to be insanely massive. A lot of our lifesteal already gets increased by Blood Drinker, but this Heart Rune does a lot of damage, and the lifesteal applies from the damage that you deal. So if you are attacking like 2-3 players and you cast this Heart Rune, you're pretty much going to heal to full HP. This build is very easy, which means there is not a lot of combos to do, but there is a bunch of tips I can help you with. So one tip is to start heavy attacking. So the heavy attack with the Void Blade is going to launch you extremely far. Like, you can just see how far we are launching. If you're auto attacking somebody with the Void Blade, there's a high chance they might end up dodging. So a common combo you'll see with Void Blade players is the double light attack into the heavy attack charge. Players in New World really love to dodge and then cast an ability. Since the Void Blade heavy attack sends us super far, we can actually heavy attack into an ability and get more distance than a dodge. Let me show you here. So we heavy attack into a Scream. That is going to send us super far and allow us to save our stamina to catch up to the target. We can also heavy attack out of CC. So if you ever get Ice Showered or Gravity Weld, you can heavy attack out of the CC with your Void Blade. And that about wraps it up. I'm sorry I don't have any best in slot, by the way. I don't really know what is best in slot in this build. This is a pretty fun meme build, but it's not something that I've ever really done or have an idea of what is best in slot. I hope to see you on my stream today at 5 p.m. PST. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace, baby. Man, you can't heavy attack after that. It's so lame. I mean, this shit just cooks, no? Oh! I'm getting shot by somebody from up there. I might die here, actually. I have to live steal off this thing. Okay, we got like 2k health off one auto. Okay, we're full HP again already. Oh my god, no, this build is cracked, guys. My build gets stronger when I'm below half HP, so I can like literally like never die. Like you guys get like I'm already full HP. Like, let me just fight this hatchet player and look at my health, guys. Infinite health. Infinite health. Get him, boys. Are these guys teaming? Wait, she's so rooted. Wait, is she actually firing me now? I respect it. I mean, look at my health. Just look at my health, like, right? It's just... And then we have the Reap, too. I mean, like, I just heal too much, man. It's, like, insane. Like, I'm just... This is just straight up auto attacks.